Welcome to the Conspiracy Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the annals of human history, few organizations have been as shrouded in mystery and intrigue as the Freemasons. A secret society with roots extending back centuries, this fraternal order has stoked the embers of conspiracy for as long as it has existed. Yet, what if there was more than mere speculation to these theories? What if there existed a complex web of influence and power spun by the Freemasons that has quietly guided our world's affairs? To understand the scope of this supposition, one must delve into the origins of Freemasonry. The society traces its lineage to the stonemason guilds of medieval Europe, organizations steeped in ritual and symbolism. Their transition from a craft guild to a fraternal society was gradual and enigmatic, echoing the clandestine nature that has become synonymous with Freemasonry. The Freemasons have always been a society of secrets, their rituals and rites known only to those within their ranks. This insular nature has perpetuated a sense of mystique around the organization, igniting the imagination of the public, and ensuing a multitude of theories about their intentions, their influence, and their power. One such theory, one that has persisted for centuries, posits that the Freemasons exert a clandestine control over global events. This theory argues that the Freemasons, through their vast network of influential members, manipulate the strings of power, shaping the course of history from the shadows. Supporters of this theory point to the many well-known figures throughout history who were known to be Freemasons. Political leaders, business tycoons, even royalty have been counted among their ranks. They argue that these individuals, guided by the unseen hand of the Freemasons, have acted to further the society's secret agenda. Consider the United States, a nation fundamentally shaped by Freemasons. Many of the founding fathers, including George Washington, were Freemasons. The very symbols of American power, the eagle, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, are all Masonic symbols. Is it coincidence or evidence of the subtle influence of this secret society? The question then arises, what is the end goal of this alleged global control? Theories range from the establishment of a new world order to the ushering in of an age of enlightenment. Yet, as with all things Masonic, the truth remains elusive, hidden behind a veil of secrecy and symbolism. The prospect of a secret society exerting global control is both fascinating and unsettling. It challenges our understanding of power structures, of history, and of the very nature of influence. Yet, whether fact or fiction, the theory of Freemasonic global control continues to captivate, to intrigue, and to provoke thought. It serves as a reminder of the enduring allure of the unknown, of the power of secrecy, and of the human propensity for seeking patterns in the chaos of our world. To fully understand the roots of the theory of Freemasonic global control, it's crucial to delve into the historical and cultural contexts that have fueled its development over centuries. The Freemasons' origins can be traced back to medieval Europe, specifically to the stonemason guilds of the late 16th to early 17th centuries. These guilds, comprising skilled craftsmen, started to incorporate speculative or philosophical members who did not practice the craft themselves but were attracted to the guild's principles and rituals. These philosophical members, often from the upper echelons of society, played a crucial role in transforming these guilds into the more esoteric and secretive organization that Freemasonry is known as today. The Freemasons' adoption of elaborate rituals, mysterious symbols, and complex allegories can be traced back to these early speculative members, who sought to elevate the organization from a mere craftsman's guild into a brotherhood devoted to moral and spiritual development. The Freemasons' rise to prominence coincided with the Age of Enlightenment, a period in European history characterized by an emphasis on reason, science, and humanism. Philosophers and intellectuals of the time were seeking to challenge the dogmas of religion and the absolute rule of monarchy. The Freemasons, with their emphasis on rationality, fraternity, and secrecy, naturally attracted many of these enlightened thinkers. This association with the Age of Enlightenment imbued the Freemasons with an aura of intellectual sophistication and progressiveness, enhancing their appeal to influential figures across Europe. As Freemasonry spread across the continent, It began to attract members from the ranks of nobility, politics, and academia. This influx of influential members solidified the Freemasons' reputation as a powerful and secretive organization, a reputation that would later fuel theories about their alleged global control. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Freemasonry was rapidly gaining ground in the New World. Many of the founding fathers of the United States, such as George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and John Hancock, were known Freemasons. This has led some theorists to suggest that the principles of Freemasonry significantly influenced the establishment of America's democratic institutions and the drafting of its Constitution. Furthermore, the Freemasons' infamous secrecy and their use of complex symbols have also contributed to the development of the theory of Freemasonic global control. Their penchant for secrecy naturally fuels speculation about their activities, while their symbols, often imbued with multiple layers of meaning, are seen by some as coded messages or signs of their influence. In summary, the historical and cultural contexts of Freemasonry, their origins in the stonemason guilds of medieval Europe, their association with the Age of Enlightenment, their prominence among the founding fathers of America, and their culture of secrecy and symbolism, have all played a part in the development of the theory of their alleged global control. These factors have combined to create an image of the Freemasons as a powerful, secretive, and influential organization, an image that continues to fascinate and provoke speculation to this day. Building further on this fascinating narrative, it becomes crucial to delve into the key figures and events that have shaped the theory of the Freemasons and their alleged global control. The intertwining of Freemasonry with historical events and influential figures has indeed given this theory its enduring strength. The French Revolution, a seminal event in world history, was an important turning point. Many historians believe the spirit of fraternity and equality espoused by Freemasonry played a significant role in the revolution's ideological underpinning. Countless revolutionaries, including Marquis de Lafayette, were known Freemasons. This association led to widespread speculation that the Freemasons were instrumental in orchestrating the revolution, further amplifying their image as a powerful and clandestine organization capable of shaping world events. Moving into the 19th century, the Freemasons continued to be associated with influential figures and political movements. Giuseppe Garibaldi, the famed Italian general and nationalist, was a dedicated Freemason. His pivotal role in the unification of Italy once again linked Freemasonry with significant historical events, reinforcing their image as a powerful force behind the scenes. The 20th century saw the theory of Freemasonic global control reaching new heights. The rise of conspiracy theories during the Cold War era often pointed a finger at the Freemasons. Theorists suggested that they were working hand-in-hand with other alleged shadow organizations like the Illuminati and the Bilderberg Group. This period also saw the emergence of influential figures like conspiracy theorist William Cooper, author of Behold a Pale Horse, who further propagated the theory of Freemasonic global control. In recent times, the theory has been fanned by the digital age and the advent of the Internet. Online platforms have allowed conspiracy theories to gain traction and spread rapidly, attracting a new generation of theorists. Figures like Alex Jones, a notorious conspiracy theorist, have used their platforms to disseminate theories about Freemasonic global control to a vast audience. In examining these key figures and events, it becomes clear that the theory of Freemasonic global control is deeply rooted in historical context. The association of Freemasons with significant historical events and influential figures has contributed to the lingering suspicion and fascination surrounding this enigmatic fraternity. It is this intricate weave of history, power, and secrecy that continues to fuel the narrative of Freemasonry's alleged global control. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence cited by proponents of the theory of Freemasonic global control is the fraternity's frequent association with symbols of power and authority. It is often alleged that Freemasonry's influence can be discerned in the symbolism of national emblems and currencies, particularly that of the United States. The Great Seal of the United States, for instance, features a number of elements commonly associated with Freemasonry. On the reverse of the seal is a pyramid with an eye enclosed in a triangle at its peak, a symbol that many interpret as an emblem of Freemasonry. This is the Eye of Providence, or the all-seeing eye of God, which is also a frequently used symbol in Freemasonry. It is said to represent the omnipresence and omniscience of the Supreme Being. Another symbol on the Great Seal that is often linked to Freemasonry is the phrase Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is Latin for New Order of the Ages. Some theorists interpret this as a veiled reference to the New World Order, a hypothesized global government that they allege is the ultimate objective of the Freemasons. These symbols also appear on the U.S. $1 bill, further fueling speculation about Freemasonic influence in the highest echelons of power. Aside from the symbols on the Great Seal, Freemasonry's influence is also alleged to be found within the design of Washington, D.C. Pierre-Charles L'Enfant, a Freemason, was the architect behind the city's layout. Some theorists claim that the city's streets were deliberately arranged to form Masonic symbols when viewed from above, a testament to the fraternity's concealed power and influence. Another pillar of the theory centers around the Freemasons' reputed control over the world's financial system. Central to this claim is the notion that many of the world's leading bankers and financiers are Freemasons. This contention is often bolstered by the fraternity's historical ties to prominent banking families, like the Rothschilds.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
By allegedly controlling the world's wealth, the Freemasons are said to exert enormous influence over global politics and economies. These claims, though often disputed and lacking conclusive evidence, have nonetheless contributed significantly to the enduring narrative of Freemasonic global control. The fraternity's association with symbols of power, the design of national capitals, and the world's financial system serves to reinforce its image as a shadowy and influential organization. It is through these associations that the theory of Freemasonic global control continues to captivate and intrigue. The examination of evidence is a crucial step in any investigative process, and it is no different here. The claims alleging Freemasonic global control are often broad and sweeping, with much of the evidence presented being circumstantial and open to interpretation. Let's consider the symbols on the Great Seal of the United States, for instance. While it is true that the seal employs symbols like the Eye of Providence and the Latin phrase Novus Ordo Seclorum, both of which have been associated with Freemasonry, it is essential to remember that these symbols are not exclusive to the fraternity. The Eye of Providence, for instance, has been a symbol of divine watchfulness since the Renaissance, long before the establishment of modern Freemasonry. The Latin phrase, as explained by Charles Thomson, the Secretary of Congress who proposed it, was inspired by the poetry of Virgil and intended to reflect the dawn of a new era with the independence of the United States. There is no documented evidence linking these symbols' inclusion on the seal directly to Freemasonic influence. The assertion that Washington D.C.'s design contains concealed Masonic symbols also requires critical evaluation. Despite Pierre-Charles L'Enfant being a Freemason, there is no concrete evidence in his correspondences or plans suggesting a deliberate attempt to embed Masonic symbols within the city's layout. The patterns perceived by some as Masonic symbols could be purely coincidental. It's a phenomenon known as apophenia, where humans tend to perceive meaningful patterns or connections in unrelated or random data. The claim of Freemasons controlling the world's financial system is another point that merits scrutiny. While it is true that there have been Freemasons amongst the world's leading bankers and financiers, this does not necessarily prove the fraternity's control over global finance. Correlation does not imply causation. Furthermore, the Freemasons' connection to the Rothschild family is more folklore than fact. No members of the Rothschild family have been confirmed to be Freemasons, and the claims of their involvement often rely on anti-Semitic tropes and unfounded conspiracy theories. In conclusion, much of the evidence connecting Freemasonry to global control is circumstantial and open to interpretation. It is important to scrutinize these claims, considering alternative explanations and the broader context. While the Freemasons have undoubtedly exerted significant influence in various spheres over the centuries, the assertion of their global control remains unproven, hinging more on speculation and conjecture than solid, verifiable evidence. As such, the narrative of Freemasonic global control, while enduring and captivating, needs to be approached with a healthy dose of skepticism and critical inquiry. It's also worth acknowledging the critics who have dedicated significant effort to debunking the theories of Freemasons wielding global control. Many of these critics are historians, scholars, and investigative journalists who have applied rigorous academic standards to their scrutiny of these claims. One such critic is historian Jasper Ridley, who in his book The Freemasons argues that Freemasonry is not a secret society, but a society with secrets. He contends that the fraternity's rituals and symbols have been widely misunderstood and misrepresented. He asserts that the so-called secrets of Freemasonry are merely rituals and symbolism intended for moral instruction and character development, not for world domination. Journalist Stephen Knight, in his controversial book The Brotherhood, also scrutinized the influence of Freemasonry. Despite initial suspicions, Knight concluded that Freemasons do not control the world, stating that the fraternity is too disorganized and divided to conspire on such a grand scale. He pointed out the numerous schisms and rivalries within Freemasonry, which would make unified global control virtually impossible. There's also the work of sociologist Rodney Stark, who analyzed the social networks of Freemasons. He found that while Freemasons indeed form a closely knit community, their influence is more social than political. Stark's research suggests that Freemasons primarily join the fraternity for camaraderie and networking opportunities, not for global domination. Critics also point out the logical fallacies inherent in many of the conspiracy theories about Freemasons. For example, the post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy, or after this, therefore because of this. This fallacy is frequently employed in claims that since some influential figures were Freemasons, the fraternity must therefore control the world. As we discussed earlier, correlation does not imply causation. Then there's the argumentum ad ignorantiam, or argument from ignorance. This fallacy asserts that a claim must be true because it has not been proven false. Many conspiracy theories about Freemasonry rely on this fallacy, insisting that the lack of concrete evidence disproving Freemasonic control is itself proof of their influence. Finally, critics highlight the danger of such conspiracy theories. They can veer into the realm of paranoia, scapegoating, and discrimination, often targeting specific groups such as the Jewish community. These theories can also distract from real issues and legitimate avenues of inquiry, leading to misinformation and societal division. In the face of such criticism, it's clear that the narrative of Freemasonic global control is far from being universally accepted. The claims and theories have been subjected to rigorous scrutiny and found wanting in several areas. It's a reminder that when exploring such complex and contentious topics, it's essential to apply critical thinking, consider alternative viewpoints, and remain open to ongoing dialogue and debate. The belief in Freemasonic global control is not just a harmless, fanciful idea. It has real-world implications that extend beyond the realm of conspiracy theories. It shapes perceptions, fuels mistrust, and even influences public policy and international relations. The lens through which we view organizations such as the Freemasons can significantly alter our understanding of the world and our place in it. Numerous historical instances illustrate the societal and cultural impact of views about Freemasonry. During the late 18th and early 19th centuries, anti-Masonic sentiment became a powerful political force in the United States. The Anti-Masonic Party, the first third party in American politics, was established in response to fears of Masonic influence. The party's platform embodied a backlash against perceived elitism and secret societies, reflecting broader societal anxieties about power and control. Moreover, the belief in Freemasonic control has often been used to justify repression and discrimination. In Fascist Italy and Nazi Germany, Freemasons were persecuted because they were viewed as part of a global conspiracy against nationalistic ideals. In these instances, the perceived threat posed by the Freemasons served to legitimize oppressive policies and actions. The cultural impact of the Freemasonic image is also significant. The mysterious and secretive nature of the organization has made it a fertile ground for artistic and literary exploration. From Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code to the National Treasure film series, the Freemasons have been portrayed as keepers of hidden knowledge and manipulators of world events. These portrayals both reflect and shape public perceptions of the organization. The idea of a secret society pulling the strings of global events can be appealing because it offers a simple explanation for complex issues. However, this simplicity comes at a cost. It can lead to a distorted understanding of power dynamics and social structures. Rather than engaging with the complexities of global politics or economic systems, it's all too easy to pin blame on a shadowy organization. Moreover, the belief in a Freemasonic conspiracy can contribute to a culture of suspicion and paranoia. It can erode trust in public institutions, fuel divisive narratives, and hinder constructive dialogue. As sociologist Robert Putnam has argued, social capital, the networks of relationships that bind society together, is crucial for democratic governance and societal well-being. Conspiracy theories can undermine this social capital, fostering division and mistrust. In conclusion, the belief in Freemasonic global control, despite its lack of empirical support, has far-reaching societal and cultural implications. It's a potent illustration of how perceptions of power and control can shape our collective reality. Understanding these implications is crucial if we are to navigate the often murky waters of conspiracy theories and their impact on our world. Turning our attention to the world of media, it becomes apparent that there is a significant influence of the Freemasonic image. The media, in its various forms, has played a substantial role in shaping the narrative around Freemasonry and its alleged global control. The portrayal of Freemasons in popular culture, specifically in movies, books, and TV shows, has significantly contributed to the perception of them as a powerful and secretive group with a far-reaching influence. Consider the portrayal of Freemasons in cinema. The aforementioned National Treasure franchise is a prime example. The films, which weave a tale of hidden treasures and secret societies, depict the Freemasons as keepers of ancient knowledge and vast wealth. The narrative of these movies, while fictional, contributes to the public perception of Freemasons as a shadowy organization with unseen control and influence. In literature, books like Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code and its sequels have further cemented this image. Brown's novels, which are steeped in historical conspiracy theories and cryptic symbols, entwine the Freemasons with the machinations of global power. The immense popularity of these books has undeniably influenced the way the Freemasons are viewed. Television hasn't been immune to this trend either. Shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy have used the Freemasons as a comedic trope, playing off the idea of them as a global puppet master. While these portrayals are undoubtedly satirical, they nonetheless contribute to the narrative of the Freemasons as a group with secret, global control. In the realm of news media, the portrayal of Freemasonry is a mixed bag. Articles and opinion pieces range from critical examinations of the organization's history and influence to sensationalist claims of global conspiracy. The pervasive nature of these narratives in the media has a significant impact on public perception, coloring the way people view the Freemasons and the idea of their supposed global control. Media narratives are powerful. They shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. The portrayal of the Freemasons as an omnipotent, secretive organization feeds into broader societal anxieties about power, control, and the unknown. It caters to a human need for simple explanations in a complex world. Yet these narratives, like the conspiracy theories they often reflect, come with their own set of problems. They can distort our understanding of societal structures, fuel mistrust, and contribute to a culture of suspicion and paranoia. As such, it's essential to approach these narratives with a critical eye, to question their origins, and to consider the impact they have on our perception of the world. In the shadows of these mainstream narratives, however, there exists a more fringe aspect of the Freemason discussion. This realm delves into the extraordinary and the unexpected, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction. Take, for instance, the claim that Freemasons are not only part of an international network of power brokers, but they are also in contact with extraterrestrial beings. Some proponents of this theory argue that the symbols and rituals used by the Freemasons are not just allegorical, but are cryptic messages meant to communicate with advanced civilizations beyond our own. According to this theory, Freemasons have been guiding humankind's progress under the direction of these advanced beings. The evidence? Proponents point to the prevalence of Masonic symbols in NASA's insignia and the fact that many astronauts, including Buzz Aldrin, the second man to set foot on the moon, were known to be Freemasons. Another fringe theory suggests that the Freemasons are guardians of the Holy Grail, the cup Jesus Christ used at the Last Supper. The theory posits that the Holy Grail is not a physical object, but a metaphorical concept representing the divine wisdom and sacred knowledge guarded by the Freemasons. Then there's the claim that the Freemasons are custodians of ancient, powerful technology, left behind by a long-lost civilization. According to this fringe theory, the Freemasons' secretive nature and complex rituals are designed to protect this knowledge until humanity is ready to use it responsibly. These speculative angles may seem outlandish, even farcical to many, but it's worth noting that they speak to a deep-seated fascination with the unknown, the arcane, and the powerful. They reflect a desire to uncover hidden truths, to pierce the veil of secrecy, and to gain insight into the forces shaping our world. These fringe theories, like their mainstream counterparts, reflect societal anxieties and desires. They offer alternative narratives that challenge the status quo, that seek to uncover hidden truths, and that reflect a deep-seated fascination with the arcane, the powerful, and the unknown. While these theories are far from mainstream, they are nonetheless part of the broader discourse surrounding the Freemasons. They contribute to the mystique of the organization, adding another layer of intrigue to an already complex narrative. They serve as a reminder that, in the quest to understand our world, sometimes fact can be stranger than fiction, and so, we find ourselves at the end of an intricate labyrinth of theories, speculations, and conjectures. The Freemasons, an enigmatic fraternity with its roots in medieval stonemasonry, has been persistently linked to a sprawling web of global control and influence. This narrative has been spun from strands of secrecy, symbolism, and societal power, woven together into a complex tapestry that has captivated the human imagination for centuries. In our exploration, we've navigated the shadowy corridors of power, from the halls of political influence to the clandestine meetings in Masonic lodges. We've traversed the terrain of symbolism, decoding the esoteric insignia etched into Masonic regalia and architecture. We've delved into the vaults of history, unearthing the fraternity's origins and its evolution over time. In the mainstream discourse surrounding the Freemasons, we've seen a distinct tension between skepticism and reverence, between suspicion and admiration. This reflects the complex dynamics at play within society's relationship with power and authority, secrecy and transparency, tradition and change. In the realm of fringe theories, a different picture emerges. The Freemasons become keepers of ancient wisdom, custodians of advanced technology, or intermediaries between humanity and extraterrestrial civilizations. While these narratives may seem far removed from reality, they nonetheless underscore the depth of human curiosity and our enduring fascination with the unknown. Through all these narratives, whether mainstream or fringe, runs a common thread: the allure of the secret. The Freemasons, with their veiled rituals and coded symbols, embody the tantalizing promise of hidden knowledge. It is this promise that has fueled countless theories and speculations, each one a testament to our collective desire to understand the forces shaping our world. Indeed, the story of the Freemasons and global control is not just about the fraternity itself, but also about us. It's about our relationship with power and authority, our reaction to secrecy and transparency, our interpretation of symbols and rituals, our capacity for curiosity and imagination. In the end, perhaps the most compelling aspect of the Freemasons' narrative is not the alleged global control, but the exploration of these fundamental aspects of human nature. It is a narrative that invites us to reflect on our own perceptions and beliefs, to question our understanding of the world, and to grapple with the complexities of power, secrecy, and knowledge. In that sense, the story of the Freemasons serves as a mirror, reflecting back to us our own hopes, fears, and desires. Whether the fraternity is indeed a global puppet master, or simply a misunderstood brotherhood with an affinity for ritual and symbolism, is ultimately less significant than the questions their existence prompts us to ask about ourselves and the world we inhabit. This perhaps is the true power of the Freemasons' narrative, the power to provoke thought, to stir curiosity, and to illuminate the intricacies of the human condition. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Conspiracy Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Conspiracy Podcast on Patreon. Subscribe now.